What's good, people? Agent Juice reporting for duty. Well, looks like we're getting back into the swing of things with the speed paints. And what better way to get back into it than for me to speed paint, for the third time on this channel, the hashtag bestwaifu, Wuya from Xiaolin Showdown. Yes, it is Wuya again. But you know what? It's my channel, and I'll draw her all I want, and because she's best waifu, she deserves to be drawn multiple times. So stick that in your blunt and smoke it. Now, because I've done 2 videos on Wuya already, I've pretty much spoken my piece on her and why I believe her to be best waifu. I'll even provide links to the other videos like a good little boy, so you fine people can check it out for yourselves. That being said, what shall I talk about this time around? Well, in the spirit of the drawing inspiration aspect of the series, I figured I'd extrapolate aspects of Wuya I wish to draw inspiration from in my own creative works. One of the things I really like about Wuya is her overall look. First off, she's a good-looking, bodacious babe, so, you know, there's always that going on for her. Secondly, her costuming and overall appearance has this really nice, elegant simplicity to it that works really well with her personality. For you see, Wuya is a powerful and ancient witch, but not just any witch. She's a kung fu witch. So her robe-gi thingy works on the martial art front as well as the flowy, roby mysteriousness of a witch's cloak. This flowy, ethereal appearance also goes into her body as well. What with the crazy, curly, two-toned red hair she's got going on, and top it all off with her pointed ears and fangs and her sharp finger toenails and whatnot. She's basically got this great inhuman fey creature thing going on. Overall, it's a great look. She really looks like an otherworldly villainous entity. The other thing I like about Wuya is, of course, her personality. Now, I don't mean that she's like a kind and loving person or anything like that. I mean, she is a maniacal villain bent on world domination, after all. No. What I like about her personality is that she's an honest villain who treats her minions right and actually honors her word. I mentioned this before in the other Wuya videos, but that whole episode of her, regaining her form and actually honoring her promises to Raimundo to the point of actually wanting to play video games with him after he asked her to do so in that one scene is a rarity in villains. Ultimately, that's what won me over to Wuya in the first place. Not only does she look good, but she's a good villainous boss to have. 10 out of 10. Wood hench. So here we have a villain that has a great look that I like and a great demeanor that I also like. So naturally, I'd love to draw inspiration from that. Does this mean that I'm creating a character kinda sorta based on her? Yeah, maybe. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. Actually, one of the main reasons why I've been mentioning that I've been so busy in the last couple of videos is because I've been tinkering around with a new cartoon show idea. But I actually can't say much about it as of right now, but I'll definitely keep you good people updated when, that changes. But don't get me wrong. Wuya may be best waifu, but I don't just want to rip off and make a clone of her. I want to do the clever thing and rip off parts of her, as I rip off parts of many other characters. Because as I've said before, good artists borrow, great artists steal, but you have to steal from multiple sources, otherwise you are a hack. The parts I do want to rip off of Wuya is not only her good looks, but her honesty to her minions, and by minions I'm of course referring to Raimundo, because I can't actually remember how she treats other minions. And just a brief aside real quick, the great irony of me loving Wuya so much is that I've actually haven't seen that much of Xiaolin Showdown. I'm really only interested in Wuya. So, sorry for any of you potential Xiaolin Showdown diehard fans out there, but, them's the truths. Anyway, back to it. I wish to draw inspiration from Wuya's sense of sincere camaraderie she shows to Raimundo. A kind of sincere camaraderie I've also seen in relationships between, for example, Yzma and Krunk in Emperor's New Groove. It's fun, it's funny, and there's a lot to play around with in regards to that dynamic. Such a relationship is made all the more interesting when it involves a character commonly associated with a cold and distant demeanor, which is something more expected of an evil sorceress. And in fact, now that I'm thinking of it, another pretty good example of what I'm talking about can be found with none other than our very own Rita Repulsa from the OG Power Rangers. And as another brief aside, Power Rangers is something I should do a video on at some point because of how impactful it was on my life. Anyway, in the American Power Rangers, which borrows from the Japanese Super Sentai series, Rita Repulsa is shown to be the classic evil magic-wielding witch bent on world domination. However, due to the fact that it was an American children's show geared toward a young audience in the 90s, sometimes the writers would kind of ham up Rita to make her more comical and goofy. The best example I can think of off the top of my head of that comical goofy side of her is in the 1997 Power Rangers Turbo movie, where the villain Divatox, straight up calls Rita Repulsa on a phone to like ask her about how to defeat the Power Rangers. And there we have Rita just sleeping with little cucumbers on her eyes or whatever older women do in their sleep, and like she gets up out of the bed and answer the phone all cranky and snippety, and it's a kooky scene. It's clearly meant to be a cute little gag for the kids, but it also illustrates the points of personality inspiration I want to draw upon that I've been talking about. Now, Wuya doesn't reach that level of brazen kookiness in the show, at least not that I recall, and do keep in mind I haven't seen much of Xiaolin Showdown, so I could be wrong. But because she's otherworldly and is still presented as approachable, I gravitate toward that and want to add that nice spice of life to my own works. Anyway, methinks now is probably a good time to go ahead and wrap up today's video. So, as usual, if you like what you see and you want to see more, do a brother a solid and tickle those happy buttons to partake in more tomfoolery and to help the channel out in the algorithm. Also, comment below and let me know what you think. It's always a treat to hear what you good people have to say. In addition, if you wish to follow me elsewhere and drop a good old howdy-do, go ahead and hit up my social media links in the description box down below. And with that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you all stick around. And until next time, deuces.